Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Patricia, and I'm all things helping aspiring entrepreneurs like you build the mindset, motivation, and strategies you need to escape the 9-to-5 grind and create the life and business of your dreams. If you have been here before, welcome back. I am also your go-to for all things Canva. I help you simplify using the Canva platform without feeling overwhelmed. I try to make videos that are real simple to follow, really easy, but come out absolutely amazing. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a simple animated New Year's party invitation using Canva. I'm going to walk you through the easy step-by-step process so you can use this on your next design project. Listen, if you haven't already, please make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel. Hit those notifications bells so you get notified when I post another video. So let's dive right in. So we're going to start off with a blank canvas, and the size that I decided to select is a 1080 by 1080. Which is typically your standard size for a regular post. Now, this is going to be an animated post, and it's going to be in 3 different parts. So we're going to start off with the first page, right? So what we want to do is I want to create something festive for New Year's. Now, of course, you can definitely search photos for any type of New Year's, and we'll go on there and look at some New Year's photos. I really enjoyed creating this because this was so much fun. So this is like some New Year's photos that are available on here. What I decided to do is that I decided that I want to create my own stock images. And I'm going to be doing a tutorial on the platform that I use in order to create my own images. But in the meantime, I'm going to go here to elements because I was playing around with this earlier, and I'm going to pull, let's go to uploads. I'm going to pull this particular one. This is an image that I created actually using Midjourney. So I wanted a champagne bottle, and I'm going to put this in the center. What I'm going to also do, I'm going to make the background black. I want to blacken that out. And now I'm going to stretch this out so that way it covers here. And I'm going to pull the bottle all the way down and put this pretty much in the center. Let's pull this down a little more. All right. And then now what I want to do, make sure it's kind of centered. What I want to do is to use like a blur effect to kind of blur out the edges so it's not such a hard, sharp edge. So I'm going to add a few of those on the side until you no longer see that line separating the actual photo and the background. So I'm going to add a few of them here until it actually covers it all the way. So it kind of blends that. Let's add some more. Right? All right, cool. Let's bring some of these back. So basically what I want to do is at least be able to cover the edges. I'm going to add just a few more. Kind of black it out some more. All right, cool. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to position and the layers. Because now what I want to do, I want to be able to select all these layers, and I'm going to group them into one just to make it easier to manage. I'm going to group all of them together. Right? And then now I'm going to group them. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate it so that way I can throw this on the other side. So now I don't have to bother creating another set of these on the other side. So that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to stretch this out a little higher so we just see the center of the bottle right here in the middle. All right, cool. That looks good. So now what I'm going to do in my uploads, I'm going to select it again, but this time I'm going to remove the background, create a smaller version of the bottle, and I'm going to rotate it just a little bit on the side, right? Now it looks like it's like cranberries in the background. I decided I wanted to use like some strawberries. So listen, this is your flyer. You do what you want to do. So I'm going to do some strawberry clusters here at the bottom. And I'm going to duplicate, make this a little smaller, and layer it right here at the bottom. Okay, so let me just rotate that just a little bit. All right, so far that looks good. Then what I want to do, I want to add some balloons because of course it's a party. And I'm going to do some gold balloons. And I want like some, let's see, some gold and black ones. These are really pretty. Let's do like some gold and black ones in the corner. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do another one. I'm going to make it a little smaller. And then I'm going to flip it. So that way it looks like it's a variation of balloons. And I'm going to tilt this just a little bit in the corner. All right. So now we have our little balloon cluster already here. I'm going to bring these both down. Okay. Perfect. And then now what I want to do, I want to add a font. So let's go ahead and say hello. So now let's do that. I want to find like a script font that I can use. I don't remember what I did before. I did Burge. All right. This one is what I use. Okay. Let's make this bigger. Let's change the text to hello. I love this font. It's so pretty. And then what we're going to do, let's do effects. We're going to do an outline and I'm going to reduce the thickness. I don't need it that thick. And then I'm going to change the color so it gives it a pop. I like to use colors that are already in my design. I want something just a little lighter. That looks good. That's already in the design because it just makes everything more cohesive when you do it that way. Just make it just a little smaller. There we go. right? Perfect. And then now I want to find a 2025. So let's go to Elements again. I'm going to go to my recent because I know it was one in particular, this one, that I was using when I was playing around with creating this design. So I'm going to make this a little larger. Move this up some. And then, of course, and sometimes with, I'm going to lock this on screen. So that way it doesn't interfere when I'm trying to position. Let's go here. And let's move this forward. Perfect. Okay, so now this is in the middle. What I'm going to do with this, I am going to use that, put a drop shadow behind it, just to make it pop a little more. And then the same blur designs that I used, I'm going to use that behind the 2025. I'm going to move that here just so it stands out a little more. Let me make this smaller, right? So now you kind of see how it stands out and it gives it a nice pop. Let's add some text on here. Let's make this, I'm going to make it white. And then here, we're going to put, please join us for our New Year's Eve party. I'm going to do this all caps. And then I'm going to shrink it down to a 1. The spacing between the actual lines. Shrink this here. All right, perfect. Okay. And again, I'm going to add the same blur background behind the actual, this actual text. So this is gonna go, I'm gonna do it behind both of them. Right. And then what I'm gonna do, go back to Elements, and I'm going to add a square that curves. Let's bring this down. Let's make this black. Okay. And then this already has a curve. So the outline, we're going to do like a 4, but I'm going to change it to the color I pulled out. Let's do the color out of here. Maybe it's too light. This one. That looks good. That looks really good. So okay. And so now what we're going to do is we're just going to add some invitation text on the inside. So we're going to do Tuesday. Okay. Let's duplicate this. And then we're going to do the month of December. And again, I'm going to duplicate it and do 31. But this time, this is going to be a little larger. I'm going to put this right in between. the Tuesday and the December, right? And then all I'm going to do, let me duplicate that. And I'm going to make this smaller. This is where your address is going to be. Let me make this a little bigger so you see it. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3. Anywhere Drive. Any city. York. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Take this down to about 18, right? And then we're going to duplicate that. Let's do the time. So we have 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. Okay, so now we have the first flyer, which is the actual invite. I'm going to make this a little bigger. There we go. All right, so now we officially have the first flyer. So we're good when it comes down to that. So now what we're going to do, we're going to create the second flyer. And so now when we're creating the second flyer, we want that same kind of look and feel, but we do want to switch some things up. So what I will do is I'm going to duplicate it, and certain elements I'm going to go ahead and delete. Now this one, I'm going to unlock it and move it all the way up. So the blur that we had in the background, I'm going to delete that because we're not going to need that anymore. And the photo we have, we don't need that. And we definitely don't need the balloons anymore, right? The champagne, we're done with that because we have that on the first one. Strawberries are gone. And this we're not going to need. Now, the second part of our flyer is going to be the details, which are pretty much going to outline your dinner menu and your dress code. So with that, again, you would look for your photos that you want to go in the background. For me, I've already created images that I want to use. So I'm going to go to my uploads, and the images I was thinking about, because it's dinner, more or less, I wanted to do an image of like a table, a dinner table that already had the champagne glasses on there, and it already had, you know, a beautiful background. So this is one of the images that I created using Midjourney. So you would actually put your prompt in and then create the images that you want for whatever it is that you're using it. The thing that I love the most about this is that you're able to create images that you want specific for your project. It saves you so much time from searching images and then going through a whole bunch that you really do not like. And so for me, I love the flexibility of being able to create my own images. Okay, so the this I'm not going to need anymore, the blur. What I do want is just the background with this blur. I'm not going to need anymore. Same thing with here. I'm not going to need that. So what I'm going to do is reduce the transparency on it so more of the black can kind of come through, and then whatever we have on top really pops. So I'm going to take it down to about 30, right? And then this would be, I'm going to change this to details. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit because it doesn't have to be that big. And then let me duplicate this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do just the word the. I'm going to change this to One of my favorite fonts is Anton because I love the thickness of the font, right? And to match, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to black and then do the outline in the gold. Let's separate the a little better. Okay. And so there you have it when it comes down to that. I think what I might do, I'm gonna change, let's try this one instead. All right. And what I'm gonna do, I like that open sauce. To me, it looks a whole lot better. I'm gonna reduce the thickness of the gold outline. I want it there, but I don't want it to like be too thick on there. So I'm going to take it down. Right there looks great to me. And then I'm going to make this, let's see. There we go. That looks good. So that's for the details. Okay. And this I'm not going to need anymore. And this I'm not going to need anymore. But the rest of this we can reuse for now. This area, which is going to have the dinner menu, and then I'm going to, what I'll do is, all right, so this, let's delete that. So let's put dinner menu. And then we're going to list what we're going to have available for dinner. So cocktail hour, main course, tapas and small bites, and then dessert. Okay, so now we have our menu. Let's make the font a little bigger, right? So we have that. Let's do this here. And then what I'm going to do is I want to include a photo. So let's do a frame. Let's do a circle frame. And let's do a photo of a meal, right? So I created these as well, again in Midjourney, of like a dinner. I'm going to add another page only because for some reason I was trying to do this earlier and it's giving me the same issue. All right. So now you see how I just clicked my image, threw it in the actual circle frame. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a border around the frame, which is going to be the same gold. And let's shrink this down a little bit. And then we're going to bring this up here. Okay. So that's that. And then what we're going to do is, to make our life easy, we're going to duplicate that and add an image for the dress code. So again, using Midjourney, I created another image that we're going to put right here for dress code. So I just put cocktail dress. Formal attire. And dress to impress. Right? I'll do formal wear. Now, so that's basically it when it comes down to that. What I will do is try to space out the lines a little bit, so that way they're not so tight. So at 132, let me see, 129. I'm going to do the same thing here. Space this out just a little bit. Okay. All right, so that's number 2. So now we have this one and we have this one. So now the last one that we're going to do is simply a thank you to the guests, right, that you'll send out. So for that one, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to duplicate this first one and I'm going to bring this down to the bottom, and then there's going to be some elements I'm going to delete. And this is really, I'm doing this just to really save time, so that way you're not having to recreate each of the actual elements that we did before. It just saves you tons of time of doing it this way. The one on the right, I'm going to keep it there, and what I'm going to do is this I'm not going to need. This I'm not going to need, right? But what I will keep is the champagne and the strawberries at the bottom. So now my other photo that I used was this, that I'm going to put as the background, which of course is different than the one I had. This one here was the one with the champagne, but they all kind of are similar. So it allows the whole design to kind of flow. And again, another image that I created using Midjourney because I wanted, and again, I love using Midjourney to create my own images because they're unique to what I'm using it. No one else has the same image. No one else is actually using the same images that I'm using. These are mine, and I get to use it on you know, whatever I want to use it on. So for this, I'm just going to move this to the back. Let's do this behind. I'm going to do this behind here. Perfect. This blur, don't need. This I don't need, right? So I am not going to reduce the transparency on that. This is fine, because what I am going to do is make this a little larger just to put a thank you note. So all of this information I don't need. And I already have some copy that I can use for the thank you message that I am going to just simply copy and paste over here. Let's change this to white. And I'm going to change the font to, let's do open source. Okay. That's just make, here we go. Unlock that. So now we're going to say think. And I'm showing you how you can still simply, create similar layouts and designs, make a cohesive look and feel to everything, and not having to feel overwhelmed. I'm going to copy and paste this one. So let's copy this. We're going to put this, paste it here, and we're just going to put you. Now this, I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger. And then this, I am going to center it. And that's pretty much your thank you message that's there. And that's really it. And we're pretty much done. Now what I want to do is add some animation, right? So I want to animate. And I like the breathe effect. So we're going to add that on all three. We're going to do the same thing here. Animate, breathe effect on here. And then we'll do the same thing here. Breathe effect on here. Okay. So let's see this in action. And that's it. And there you have it. The last thing I do want to do, I'm going to do a match and move just so it's a smoother transition between each of the flyers. This one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete this one. And then let's add match and move. Okay, so let's do this one more time. And there you are. And just that simply, in a few minutes, we were able to create 3 different flyers. You can use them individually, or you can certainly use it as one animated image, one animated video that you can send out as an invite and a thank you to your guests. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please leave a comment at the bottom. Let me know if you're going to actually try it out. And for everyone who has actually come in, watch my video, Happy New Year. I hope 2025 is absolutely more amazing than 2024 was. So to this upcoming new year, Happy New Year's to you. See you on the next video.